Hey everyone, what's going on? So we are doing the Incineroar Escalation battle, and I'm actually going all the way on this one. Finally, able to go all the way. So yeah, this was actually I would say a pretty easy escalation compared to the escalations recently. So that's some good news. Starting off, we do stage 25. Yeah, a basic easy one. No items on this attempt. I do have the Arachnoid for shout out and Noivern for shout out and Regirock for last ditch effort. And I did leave something blank, the last spot blank. So yeah, basically just a basic team. Yeah, so not too bad. Definitely an easy one. If you have the team that I have, you could go in with it, and you should be good to go. I mean, it does have a bunch of rocks. You could go with like a Mega Shiny Deontay, I guess. That should do okay, or a Mega Aerodactyl. I think that gets rid of rocks. So yeah, that should be okay. I didn't feel it necessary to have a Mega. I just felt like this team was a pretty good way to go, basically. So yeah, able to beat it with thanks to Regirock. Powdon again would also do really well on this stage just because it has the same ability, Last Ditch Effort. So if you have that instead of Regirock, you can definitely go ahead and bring that with you. And for beating stage 25, you do get a Mega Speed Up. This whole escalation is filled with just raise max levels and Mega Speed Ups. It does have, I think, one skill swapper in it, but other than that, yeah, no level ups, no experience boosters. So pretty interesting. I personally like it because I think that we're going to be getting a bunch of new Raise Max level and skill swappers soon. I think next week, actually. Don't quote me on that, but I believe so. And if that's the case, I could always go for more Raise Max levels as we all can. So, yeah, so I'm personally in favor of it. Anyway, moving on to stage 50. Basically the same team, except I took out the Noivern for the Mega Deontay because it does get rid of all the ice on the field. If you have I guess Mega Houndoom instead would do okay, even though it's resistant. But yeah, I felt like there was a lot of ice, so Mega Deontay is the way to go on this one. Fully invested, of course, if you have it. You probably don't need it. You could probably go with the same team that I used on stage 25 with the Noivern instead of Deontay. But yeah, I just felt like there was a little bit too much ice on the field, so to warrant Deontay, that's why I have Deontay. Yeah, Arachnoid. If you farmed it recently, definitely good for this escalation. It is relatively weak. It does only get up to 80 attack power, but hopefully it does get raised max levels in the future. But even though it's still quite weak, it still does well because it is super effective. So definitely a good option if you have it. So yeah, this is not a bad one either. I was also able to beat this one itemless by leaving the last spot blank for the shoutout user, Arachnoid. So that is stage 50, and that is not bad at all. And for that, we do get a skill swap. So there's the one skill swapper that I was talking about. So pretty cool, pretty cool. Moving on, we have stage 75. And I also did this one itemless. I think I started using items on stage 100, I want to say. But yeah, we are able to beat stage 75 itemless. Now, there are a bunch of Incineroar on the field, and he does disrupt with Incineroar. So if you want to go ahead and bring Incineroar with you, that's fine. The reason I didn't was obviously because of shout out. So yeah, if you're going with the shout out team, definitely don't bring Incineroar. But if you're not, you should definitely go ahead and bring it. Yeah, Shiny Mega Gyarados should be fine. Mega Gengar as well. I mean, those should be okay. I have Camerupt on the field. Camerupt did help me, I guess, but I still didn't need it. I didn't even need a Mega on the stage, I don't think. I could have had another shoutout user like Rayquaza maybe, and that should have been okay. But yeah, another pretty easy stage in my opinion, for the team I have at least. Arachnoid really helping out. So yeah, look at all that Incineroar. That's awesome folder for the shoutout users. So that's why definitely don't leave a spot blank if you're going to shoutout, just because there's so many Incineroar, you're not going to need it. So yeah, pretty cool stage, pretty cool. Yeah, as I've said in the past, I really like these short escalations, either 100 stages, 150, or even 200. When it goes up to 500, it's a little bit too much, in my opinion. I usually try to go far in those as well, but yeah, I prefer the shorter escalation battles. So yeah, able to beat it. Last Ditch Effort really helping out. So if you have the Regirock or the Hippowdon, definitely want to bring one of those along, or even both of them if you want to. The more, the better, I guess. So that is stage 75. Oh yeah, and this escalation only goes on for a week. So definitely do as much as you can within the week. And for that, we got one raise max level. Now jumping into stage 100. Yeah, as I said, we do use the moves plus 5 and the Mega Stud, so we are using items. Um, I switched things up this time since we are using the Mega Stud, but the Mega Tyranitar. Groudon and Kyogre are both max. They're not max level, but they're max skill. So if you happen to farm them or you have them max, definitely great because there's so many rocks and barriers. So this stage could be a little bit difficult, I guess, if you don't have the Groudon or the Kyogre. But yeah, Mega Aerodactyl with a Mega Stud would actually be awesome on this, I guess. Or shiny, the regular Deontay would actually be better than Aerodactyl because of all the ice. But then you have the rock, so pick a choose if you don't have the Groudon or the Kyogre. But yeah, I didn't think the stage was bad because I had those. But yeah, I could definitely see it being relatively challenging if you don't. So yeah, might have to use an attack power if you don't have those, but I was able to do it with just the plus 5 and the Mega Stud. Yeah, look at all that ice. Regular Deontay would be good for this stage, more than likely. And then if you have it fully maxed out, you actually wouldn't even need the Mega Stud probably. But yeah, if you go in that route, if you don't have the Groudon the Kyogre, I probably would add the attack power, so you could do like maybe a plus 5 and an attack power instead of the Mega Stud if you have the Deontay, and you probably do okay. You probably be able to beat it that way. I would think so. So yeah, bunch of ice, bunch of rocks. I tried not to trigger Tyranitar too much during this battle, just because I didn't want to get rid of all of those rocks and ice, just because I wanted them for Groudon and Kyogre. I believe I am using the Regirock during this match. Yeah, there you go, Regirock. But I don't think I needed it. I think I would have beaten it even without the Regirock. But you definitely want to have the last ditch effort use it if you do have it. And so yeah, just a couple moves left, but we are able to beat it with that last Groudon move for Barrier Shot. So that is really cool. And for that, I think it was, what was it, one raise max level? No, one mega speed up. Okay, so we got to mega speed up for that. For this one, we are using the Poplio that we recently farmed, Ash Greninja, and then again Regirock and Tyranitar. So again, the plus 5 moves and the Mega Start. And Poplio is great if you have it farmed. Mine's not the highest level it can go, but it is skill level 5. So if you did farm it, you'll be able to take advantage of it because look at all these blocks. So definitely good if you did do that. And if you didn't, again, shiny Deontay should be okay as a mega. Or you could just go with the Tyranitar. Maybe if you don't have the Poplio, maybe you might want an attack power because even with the Poplio, I think I came close. We'll see. I think I was able to win because of the Regirock, but yeah, even with Poplio, it's still relatively tough stage. But I did get quite lucky on this one just because Ash Greninja was triggering a lot. So definitely got a little bit lucky. But yeah, maybe an attack power should be better for you if you feel a little bit uncomfortable. Then I would say yeah, definitely add that attack power. But I felt like it was enough. So yeah, not too bad, not too bad. And he keeps on disrupting with blocks. So again, good for Poplio. I didn't try leaving the one of the spots blank, so technically I don't know if it adds a fifth support. You could try Shot Out on this stage. If it does add a fifth support, I would definitely recommend going into the stage item list just to see. I'm not too sure on that because I didn't do it. I would assume that it adds an extra support like Baneri, like it did in the previous stages, but again, not sure. So you definitely don't want to go ahead with items and then it doesn't add the extra support Pokemon. And instead, it adds blocks or something. So you never know. So definitely go ahead and try it if you plan on going with a Shadow team. But yeah, I guess this actually wasn't too bad. But again, I did get a little bit lucky with Ash Greninja. So yeah. So yeah, we are in less effort range, but technically, I guess I didn't need it. Um, because I still would have been able to beat it with the Poplios probably. So still really cool stage. I mean, quite challenging. Look, that's over 50,000, close to 60,000 HP. So it does have a lot of health. So yeah, it could be challenging if you don't have some of these burst damage uses, basically. But there you go. That is stage 110. And we get a raise max level, so really exciting. Again, that's going to be good for the future, definitely. And for stage 120, we're using Kyogre for this one, taking out the Poplio and going in with a +5 and a Mega Stud, just like the other ones. Well, at least just like the last one, 110, and I think 100. But yeah, I mean, there's some blocks in here, so I guess maybe Poplio could have been all right, but I think he disrupts with rocks. Yeah, there you go. So the Kyogre is better. This stage is probably going to be tough if you don't have the Kyogre, unfortunately. So definitely use that attack power if you don't have it, and maybe a disruption delay as well. Yeah, because I mean, this. I think there's quite a bit of HP on this one, so I think I actually came close on this one, or was it 130? I came close. It was one of them I came close on, but yeah, there's just the problem with this one. Even with the Kyogre, there's just so many rocks, so you're only at most gonna have a match of three for the most part for the Kyogre. And it's not even gonna be guaranteed at that point. So even with Kyogre, it was still a tough one, I think. But yeah, but I did again. Ash Greninja was triggering quite a bit for me, so got fortunate on this one again. Look at all that again. Only have the match of three, not a guarantee. Yeah, I ended up having to get rid of a lot of these rocks with the Tyranitar, even though you want to save them for Kyogre. That's how bad the rocks were, basically. Also, I don't have to mention this, but if you didn't catch Incineroar, you can definitely catch it as you progress through this escalation, and definitely worth catching. So definitely go ahead and grab that if you don't have it. At the very least, if you want to get it. Yeah, look at all those rocks. I mean, a bunch of rocks on the field. Just it just makes it really difficult to even activate Kyogre. And at this point, I didn't even know if I was gonna win. At this point, that's how many rocks he keeps on putting on the field. Um, I've mentioned it before. I guess Mega Aerodactyl. Mega Aerodactyl is the one that gets rid of rocks, right? I think it gets rid of rocks and blocks. You definitely want the Mega that gets rid of both of them. So that could work for this. It might not be Mega Aerodactyl. You're gonna have to look that up. I can't remember. I always forget. I know Shiny Mega Deontay works that way, so that should be okay for the stage again. But if you have the Kyogre, that is definitely probably the way to go instead of the Rock Eater, basically. Yeah, this one I came close on. I do have the match of 5, but I had the match of 4 on the Regirock, so I didn't go for the Ash Greninja just because I wanted to guarantee the win. So yeah, quite tough, quite tough. But a fun stage, though. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed this escalation as a whole. For that one, we do get 1 Mega Speed Up. So not bad, not bad. Yeah, so moving on, we do have stage 130, and we're using the Groudon instead of the Kyogre this time, switching it up. It seems like every other round. Way too many barriers on this one, so Groudon's definitely the way to go. But again, if you don't have Groudon, regular Deontay should be okay. It's just that the Groudon is really there for the damage, so it's going to get more damage than like Deontay, Mega Deontay. So again, suggesting the attack power would probably be the proper way to go. This one, I guess I don't think this one was super bad. Actually, I felt like this one was easier than 120. There were a lot of barriers, but I felt like they were easier to deal with than all of those rocks. I guess just because I have the barrier shot. I'm using that for the damage for the most part, but I also have the Tyranitar to get rid of some of the ice that is a little bit annoying. So yeah, it also helps that Tyranitar is super effective. Not that that matters a whole lot, but it does technically help a little bit. Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot as much HP on this one. I will see. There's still quite a bit, but yeah, none of these stages I lost on. I don't think I lost. Yeah, so this escalation was quite easier than some of the others we've had in the past. At least in my opinion, from my experience, easier than the Magina one even. I would say so. I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun during this escalation battle, and I hope that they have more escalation battles like this in the future, where the HP is manageable. Like maybe it's a little bit tough, but it's also manageable. And yeah, that is going to finish stage 130. Yeah, I'm very excited to be able to go all the way again. I used to finish escalation battles in the past, but then they got way too bulky, way too difficult. Not able to do it in recent videos, but this video able to do it. For 130, we do get 2 raise max levels. So again, want to collect up those raise max levels for the new skill swappers and raise max levels coming. So yeah, for this one, going in with a Moose +5 and Mega Start and adding that attack power, quite a bit of HP on this one. You do get a good amount of moves though, so I guess this one wasn't awful. I guess yeah, none of these stages were really awful. I don't think. But again, it could be the team I'm using. So if you don't have like the Groudon or the Poplio or the Kyogre, some of them could be a little bit tough, I guess. But I enjoyed it. The fifth support in this one is actually rocks. So instead of the Poplio, the better option would probably be Kyogre. I would actually use Poplio and Kyogre so you could have both instead of the Ash Greninja. That would definitely be a better solution. I actually thought of that as I was playing the stage, so unfortunately didn't benefit me. But if you have both of those, definitely go ahead and do that, and I would definitely recommend that. He does disrupt with rocks and blocks, but so Poplio does help with those blocks, and Kyogre will help with the rocks, and also the rocks that fall from the Skyfall. Definitely don't need a complexity on this one if you're going in with this team. Or a very similar team, at least. Having the Regirock as usual. I use Regirock during this entire escalation, basically, at least the boss stages. So yeah, this one was not too bad. Would have been easier with. Well, the reason it's not too bad is because I'm adding on that attack power, so that's probably why I felt like it was easier than like 130 or 120, just because I was adding on the attack power, whereas I didn't use an attack power on those stages. So that's why I thought this one was easier. It makes sense, yeah. Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Still came, I guess you could say, relatively close, but at this point, I knew I was going to beat this stage anyway, so I wasn't worried at this point. and we're able to finish it off with a last-ditch effort. You could actually probably do this one without the attack power, but I didn't want to risk it. I guess it's up to you if you want to risk it. Maybe if you're going with the Kyogre and Popplio, you could get away with it, but I'm not going to risk it, basically. For that one, 140, you do get 2 raise max levels, so I will take it. And 150, I guess it's the most difficult one. Using Ash Greninja, Regirock, and Silvally. Yeah, I felt like Typeless Combo was really helpful in this stage. I mean, there's a lot of blocks and ice, so you could do Groudon and Popplio, whichever one you prefer. I definitely want to do full items, though. And yeah, that's what I would recommend. Definitely a tough one. I wasn't sure if I was going to need a Jewel because I checked the HP. I think it's over 70,000, so it seems like it's a lot. But I felt like it was manageable with this team, and I was able to beat it. So yeah, not too bad, not too bad. I would have used the Jewel on this had I not been able to beat it, probably. But yeah, not going to need it, at least. The only reason that I don't know if I would suggest Popplio or like Groudon or things is because if you use the disruption delay, after you clear away that ice and blocks, there's nothing you're going to be able to use until the disruption delay wears off. Basically, when he starts to disrupt, and I don't know if I would chance this without a disruption delay. I think it's a little bit too risky, in my opinion. I wouldn't do it. So yeah, I think this team is the way to go. Basically, I would use this team if you have it. If you have it, yeah. Yeah, I mean, Hoopa with Typeless Combo would be good as well, just as good, maybe even better. Maybe not better, but just as good. Um, but yeah, I don't have it. So if you have it, you could go for it, I guess. But yeah, definitely want that combo multiplier, in my opinion. Yeah, as of right now, he just broke out of the disruption delay, so able to trigger that Ash Greninja, which was lucky, but I wasn't sure if I was going to beat it because I didn't know what his disruptions were, but I assumed that they were pretty bad. And from what I remember, they are pretty bad, so that's why you definitely want to have that disruption delay. You get 3 raise max levels for this one, by the way, so it's not bad. It's not bad at all, especially since you're able to beat it without a Jewel. Yeah, I was thinking a little bit on this just because I wanted to make sure that I wanted to have the best chance that I could at beating it. Yeah, there you go. So, yeah, I guess you could use the Popplio or the Groudon, but you wouldn't be able to benefit from them until he wears off, the disruption delay wears off, basically. Ash Greninja really helping out throughout this entire escalation for the most part, actually. Quite surprised. Usually it just doesn't want to trigger for me for whatever reason. Yeah, so at this point, yeah, I knew I just had to set up. Well, I had to set up the last ditch effort. I did have last ditch effort match right there, so yeah, not bad. Last ditch effort really coming through. Again, though, if you have Regirock, Hippowdon would be just as fine. Yeah, so just as good for you if you have it. Toronto really helping out with these ice and blocks, though. So Regirock really pulling through. I that actually came close, more close than I would have, more close than I felt comfortable with, basically. So, but was still able to do it. So, as I said, you do get 3 raise max levels, so that is really cool. And yeah, that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye.